Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex here with Jimmy, and we're going to bring you this week's fishing report. We got a lot of things to talk about. It's pretty much early spring, and you got to choose your poison. And there's lots of things to do out there. Perch fishing right now with the white perch and some yellow perch still left over with their annual spawn. Snakehead are starting to wake up. Shad are starting to pick up, hickory and some American in certain areas in the state. Also, we got some catfish, blues, channels, every kind of catfish. And we also got our annual trout stocking going on. And if you want to get out there before the season closes, for catch and release for rockfish, we have like a week left. So, let's start off with some snakehead stuff, I guess. We had some good weather here the past week and a half, I will say. Some warm days. Remember, wait until the water warms up pretty well. But everybody's been doing good on the west side and east side. Most of the places on the west side are going to be Potomac, Upper Flats area. Some of those rivers like Bush River, Gunpowder, getting the back. As far as back as you can. Shallow water. Wait until the warmest day of the week, or after a few days of warm weather. Wait until the warmest part of the day and get out there. I mean, I heard some guys actually been catching a few on top water, right in Blackwater, while those, while you had those warmest points of the day. And also, after it kind of tapered down, like myself, I was out there and they got a little finicky, but they were still hitting. But the only thing they were kind of touching were a little bit smaller profile baits. Actually had good luck on the classic good old Mepps number 3 gold. We have 2 versions here of it. Either or will work. I personally like just the blade one, so when a short strike or they come up and they're a little finicky, they'll actually focus on that blade. I know you love those, Jimmy.
Yeah, for all you guys who like throwing chatterbaits, but they're just maybe not hitting that full size. If you still want to stick with a skirted version, we have the Chatterbait Mini Max from Z-Man. These are new. Hand-tied skirts, really nice. They come in a 1/4 ounce, so it's just a smaller profile, more compact. You can fish it super shallow too because of that weight. Maybe you want to go without the skirt. I would throw something like the Willow Vibes paired up with like the Streaks. Kind of gives you that same chatterbait action with the vibrating jig head, but just downsizes it and makes it a little bit more easy for those finicky fish to grab.
Yeah, and once again, if you're coming in here and getting some stuff for snakeheads, the minnows, little 3-inch profile. I know when they're pretty sluggish, I'll put that on like a little 2-odd weighted hook. I think they make the chin locks for these on a 1/8. Perfect combo to throw out there on that shallow water and get them going. Of course, live minnows will work if you're just sitting there, not moving around on the kayak, or if you're fishing from a shoreline, etc. We do have minnows, so obviously throw them out there on a bobber and they'll hit. Once again, if you're fishing this next few days, it might be a little bit tougher. We do have a cold front moving in, so that might shut them off for a little bit. But you never know until you're out there, so get out there. Now let's move on to perch fishing. I know that's been what everybody's been going out for. I guess that's the most consistent fisher we have right now, and it's going to be mainly white perch and some leftover yellows, depending on where you are. If you're asking yourself where you want to go, you have a lot of options. If you're fishing here on the western side, Wasons down in southern Anne Arundel County is going to be the place to go. If you're fishing up in this upper part of the county, you're looking at pretty much having limited areas and going with Beechwood. Now, if you're on the eastern shore, obviously we have a couple different areas. Tuckahoe, right at Hillsboro there. Going down to Denton, Martineck, State Park, Red Bridges, etc. Those are the typical spots we always talked about, and we also have some videos on our website that you can go and check out. We'll show you how to fish all of that, but besides that, there are different waves of fish moving up and down.
Definitely.
So I know you've been out there and you saw a couple things fishing some of those areas.
I was out the other day and we were on a big mud flat, and there was all these little pockets of bait fish, like year of the young, just hatchlings, and the white perch were actually kind of circling around them on the outside edges, just kind of chasing all the little bait balls around. So I was throwing really tiny stuff like a Mepps spinner, or just like a really tiny paddle tail to kind of mimic those bait fish. And that's something you got to think about too, is a lot of the all the bait is going into the rivers to spawn, and when they do spawn, all the bait is going to be about that big. So you're going to want to stick to the smaller baits,
Bust some baits,
stingers, stuff like that. That's a smaller profile that kind of looks more natural to what they're eating.
right? There's some minnows out there, some grass shrimp.
Yeah.
Your typical baits. Also, bottom fishing with the top and bottom rig with night crawlers will get you all kinds of things in these rivers right now, this time of the year, whether it's perch, catfish, even some rockfish.
Yeah.
Everything's going to hit those things. But yeah, I mean, that's going to last here and throughout the month of April, I believe, maybe middle of April. So don't be surprised. Like I said, it might slow down here and there, but there's different waves of fish moving up. Now, moving on to something close to that, and that's pretty much like, you know, shad fishing. I know there's some guys that have been going to the Potomac and actually got the first few shad of the season. Been seeing that kind of happen in the past few days. Once again, we got cooler temperatures coming up, so it might shut it off. But the farther south you go, the more you're going to see them in some of these rivers. I know you caught one on spinnerbait the other day when it was super warm. So here's a small selection of what we have here for you guys to use. The classic little, you know, little spoons like that, or the Cast Masters. You can also tandem those with the shad dart, or like me personally, love to use those little jig heads 1/8 of an ounce with a stinger. I love the orange, but there's multiple different options there. Get out there and try them out. Obviously, this is gonna happen just like that. Normally, I'll go the first week of April, but right now they're up there. So they're here. It's just a matter of this, the temperature to pick up. So we got that going on now. Besides that, we got some, like we mentioned before, the last week of rock fishing. Power plant, one of the obviously places where everybody's been going. It's been kind of hit or miss. I know I've seen some big fish out of there, and also like mid-sized fish. But whatever you are and doing, just remember, keep that in mind. There's a week left over. And I know you've been doing some catfishing, Jimmy.
Yeah, we were down at Sandy Point. There are tons of big 10 to 15 pound catfish all over the place, Sandy Point. I mean, everyone down the beach at the same time was reeling them in. We're just using simple 8/0 circle hooks on a fish finder rig. Come in. If you don't know what that is, we can definitely show you and help you set it up. Super simple. All you got to do is just cast the rod out.
We got some fresh bait too right now for this weekend, so that's a key also, I guess. And there's also going to be a couple bycatches of some of those big, you know, rockfish to run through there. And early morning, evening, who knows? The catfish kind of hit, I guess, all day long. So
they're there all the time. They're fun to catch. So.
And they're everywhere in this area. You know, it's one of those things where it's just a matter of get out there somewhere, throw a line. You might catch a few of them. More than other things besides this, trout stocking. We got obviously the DNR website. It'll show you a map and the full listing of all your favorite spots. You can see if they're been stocked, but we also have some options with that. Small spinners, but we got some bait too, like mealworms, wax worms, the eggs, all your worms that you need, like those floating worms. So obviously come by and get fully stuck with that, because once again, it's not done. This is a, I guess, quote unquote, just the beginning of that full stocking, and we got a whole month left. So make sure you check your box and come out here if you need something. And I think that's it for the fishing report this week, guys. Keep keep in touch. I know things are changing fast here in the next few weeks, so there's going to be lots of fishing. It's officially back, so see you guys later.